You're trying to fall asleep. The room is quiet. Your phone is finally face down. Your body is tired. Your brain looks around and says, perfect. Let's bring back that thing you said in 2014. Not the big failure. Not the serious mistake. Not the moment that changed your life. Just a tiny social disaster. The wrong name. The weird handshake. The joke that landed like a wet sock. The time you said, you too, when the waiter told you to enjoy your meal. A classic crime against humanity. And somehow, years later, your brain still keeps the file. Not buried. Not archived. More like pinned to the top of the folder. So why do we replay embarrassing moments for years? Why does the brain keep sending us highlights from a show nobody else remembers? The strange part is not that embarrassment hurts. Of course it hurts. We are social animals. Being accepted matters. What is strange is the timing. The danger is gone. The people moved on. The room no longer exists in the same arrangement. The chair has probably been thrown away. But your brain still acts like there is an emergency meeting about it. The moment is over, but the social alarm is still on. The first reason is simple. Your brain is trying to protect you. Not elegantly, not kindly, but protect you. Embarrassment is a warning signal. It tells you that something went wrong in a social situation. Maybe you broke a small rule. Maybe you looked unprepared. Maybe you revealed something about yourself before you meant to. And the brain treats that as useful information. It says, remember this. Avoid this next time. Do not repeat the spoon incident. The spoon incident must never happen again. Imagine you walk into a glass door in a shop. Physically, you are fine. Emotionally, you have briefly left your body. Nobody laughs. One person looks up and then looks away. That should be the end of it. But later, your brain replays it. It zooms in on the sound. It remembers the little bounce backward. It remembers the fake calm walk you did afterward. A very dignified escape from a transparent wall. This replay feels cruel, but on a basic level, it is learning. Your brain is marking the moment as important because it involves social pain. And social pain matters because for most of human history, being rejected from the group was not just awkward. It was dangerous. Today, the group is 3 people in a coffee shop. Your nervous system did not get the software update. Embarrassment is your brain turning a tiny mistake into a survival memo. The second reason goes a little deeper. Embarrassing memories often stick because they threaten the version of ourselves we want to believe in. Most of us walk around with a quiet little story about who we are. I am competent. I am normal. I am socially aware. I know how doors work. Then one small moment punches a hole in that story. You are in a meeting. Someone asks a simple question. You start answering confidently. Halfway through, you realize you have misunderstood the question completely. Your mouth keeps moving for 2 more seconds. Your brain is already packing a bag and leaving the country. It has chosen a small village with no meetings. What hurts is not only the mistake. It is the gap. The gap between how you wanted to appear and how you think you appeared. That gap can feel weirdly personal. It feels like the room saw behind the curtain, even when the room barely noticed. This is why tiny moments can feel bigger than they should. They touch identity. They do not just say, you made a mistake. They whisper, maybe you are not who you thought you were. That whisper is usually unfair. One awkward sentence does not reveal your entire character. One bad joke does not define your soul. One strange laugh in a quiet room is not a biography, although it may feel like the title chapter. But the brain does not store embarrassment like a neutral record. It stores it with emotion attached. And emotion is sticky. It makes the memory feel fresh, even when it is old. So you are not just remembering what happened. You are briefly becoming the person you felt like in that moment. Embarrassment lasts because it does not only remember the event, it remembers the version of you that felt exposed. The third reason is social. We overestimate how much other people noticed. A lot. We are each trapped behind our own eyes. So our own mistakes feel huge. They are in full resolution. With sound. With subtitles. With a director's commentary nobody asked for. Available in your head at 2013 a.m. But other people are usually busy with their own movie. They are thinking about their hair, their email, their rent. The fact that they also said something strange 5 minutes earlier. You remember your awkward goodbye. They remember whether they locked their car. Everyone is the main character. Everyone is also the anxious background extra. Everyone is hoping nobody noticed their hands. This is one of the kindest and most annoying truths about people. They are not watching us as closely as we fear. Not because they are cold. Because they are busy being themselves. But the internet makes this harder to believe. Online, small mistakes can become permanent. A bad photo can sit there. A weird comment can be screenshotted. A clumsy opinion can be dragged out years later like evidence in court. Your Honor, the defendant used the wrong emoji in 2019. So even offline embarrassment starts to feel recorded. We begin to imagine an invisible audience. A crowd of people reviewing our worst moments. Pausing, rewinding, discussing the angle. But most of the time, there is no crowd. There is just memory. And memory can be a terrible editor. We replay the moment because we think everyone saved it. Usually, we are the only one with the recording. The fourth reason is more personal. Embarrassing memories often return when the mind has empty space. That is why they appear at night, or in the shower, or while washing a cup you have washed badly 3 times already. A cup can survive a lot of emotional processing. During the day, your brain has jobs. Answer the message. Buy the milk. Pretend the spreadsheet makes sense. Decide what to eat. Avoid stepping on the charger cable. But when things get quiet, the mind starts opening old drawers. Not always the useful drawers. Sometimes it picks the drawer labeled minor shame. This is not random. The brain likes unfinished emotional business. If a memory still feels unresolved, it can keep coming back. You may not want to fix the actual event. You may not even be able to. The person is gone. The job is gone. The party ended years ago. But emotionally, some part of you is still standing there. Still wanting to explain. Still wanting to correct the sentence. Still wanting to be seen differently. That is why the replay often comes with a fantasy. You imagine saying it better. You imagine the perfect comeback. You imagine walking out calmly instead of doing that strange nervous laugh. The nervous laugh had its own business plan. In your head, you are trying to repair the moment. But the problem is that the moment cannot be repaired by replaying it. Replaying gives the feeling of control. It does not give control. It is like checking the same locked door again and again. The check feels responsible. But after a while, it becomes the thing keeping you awake. The replay is not proof that the moment matters. It may be proof that part of you still wants permission to leave it. So what do we do with this? Not in a fake life hack way. Not in a just stop caring what people think way. Very helpful advice, usually delivered by people who care what people think. Maybe the first move is simply to notice what the replay is trying to do. It is trying to protect you. It is trying to restore your image. It is trying to solve an old social puzzle. It is just using a terrible method. You can look at the memory and ask a smaller question. What is my brain trying to prevent here? What rule does it think I broke? What version of me is it trying to defend? Sometimes the answer is simple. I wanted to seem smart. I wanted to seem relaxed. I wanted to seem normal. I wanted to belong. And that is not pathetic. That is human. Most embarrassing memories are just clumsy proof that we care about connection. It can also help to shrink the camera. Embarrassment makes the memory look cinematic. Big lighting. Dramatic close-up. One person dropping a pen in slow motion. Truly the end of civilization. But real life was probably smaller. A room. A sentence. A few distracted people. Then the day continued. Your memory may be showing you the trailer, not the movie. And maybe the gentlest thing is to stop treating the memory like evidence. It is not evidence that you are awkward forever. It is not evidence that everyone secretly remembers. It is not evidence that you failed as a person. It is evidence that your brain has a strong filing system for shame. Unfortunately, it did not come with a delete button. But it can become less powerful. Not because you erase it. Because you stop obeying the feeling that comes with it. You can remember the moment and still not believe its entire story. You can cringe and still move on. You can say, yes, that was awkward. And also, I am allowed to continue existing. The weird thing about embarrassment is that it feels isolating. It feels like you are the only person with a museum of tiny social failures. But almost everyone has one. A shelf for weird greetings. A drawer for bad jokes. A locked room for public speaking. A glass case for the time they waved back at someone who was waving at a person behind them. That exhibit is very popular. We carry these moments because we wanted to do well. We wanted to be liked. We wanted to be smooth, clever, easy, impressive, normal. And sometimes we were just people. A little tired. A little nervous. A little too loud. A little too quiet. A little late with the right sentence. Most embarrassing memories are not proof that something is wrong with you. They are proof that being seen matters. Bye! So the next time your brain replays a scene from years ago, maybe you do not have to fight it like an enemy. You can let it arrive. You can notice the cringe. You can notice the old wish to be different. And then you can remember something very plain. Height. Nobody else is lying awake thinking about your awkward sentence. They are too busy thinking about theirs. If you like noticing the strange little mechanisms behind normal human behavior, this is what we explore here on The Weird Reason. Calmly. Honestly. And with deep respect for every embarrassing thing your brain has decided to keep in storage. Subscribe if you want more videos about why humans are so weird.